Number 1. The 1965 Ford Fairlane 500. What if I told you that one of the best bargains in the classic car world isn't a Mustang or a Camaro, but a Ford Fairlane? At an asking price of just $9,500, this 1965 Fairlane 500 might be one of the most affordable ways to experience authentic V8-powered American motoring. While the Mustang became Ford's biggest success story during the 1960s, the Fairlane quietly built its own reputation as a dependable mid-size car with clean styling and plenty of performance potential. In fact, many enthusiasts appreciate the Fairlane because it delivers much of the same classic Ford character without carrying the higher price tag that often comes with more famous models. This example is a handsome two-door hardtop, finished in burgundy with a black interior. The hardtop roofline gives the car a sleek profile, and without a center pillar, it has the open, airy look that defined many American coupes of the era. It's simple, elegant, and unmistakably 1960s. Under the hood sits Ford's legendary 289 cubic inch V8, an engine that earned a reputation for reliability, smooth performance, and easy maintenance. This one has been upgraded with a Holley 4-barrel carburetor and a Petronix electronic ignition system. Those are practical improvements that many classic car owners appreciate because they enhance drivability while reducing some of the maintenance associated with older ignition systems. Backing the V8 is a 3-speed automatic transmission, making this Fairlane an easy cruiser rather than an aggressive muscle car. According to the seller, it runs and drives well, which is exactly what most buyers hope to hear when shopping for a 60-year-old classic. The odometer shows 123,456 miles, but personally, that number wouldn't discourage me. With vintage cars, overall condition and consistent maintenance usually matter far more than mileage alone. A well-cared-for driver can often be a better investment than a low-mileage car that spent decades sitting and used. Another thing I like is the seller's realistic approach. They're open to reasonable offers and would only consider trading for an older Ford truck or a classic Jeep CJ or Wrangler. That tells me this is likely another enthusiast who understands the collector market. So, is this Fairlane worth the asking price? In my opinion, absolutely. For under $10,000, you're getting a running and driving V8-powered Ford with tasteful upgrades, timeless styling, and plenty of room to enjoy the classic car hobby without stretching your budget. It may not attract the same crowds as a first-generation Mustang, but that's part of its appeal. Sometimes the smartest classic car purchase isn't the most famous one, it's the one that delivers the most enjoyment for the money. And this 1965 Ford Fairlane 500 does exactly that. Number 2. The 1967 Chevrolet Malibu Chevelle SS Tribute. Some classic cars become legends because of their rarity. Others earn their reputation through the way they make people feel behind the wheel. The 1967 Chevrolet Chevelle belongs to the second category. More than half a century after it first rolled off the assembly line, it remains one of the most recognizable icons of the American muscle car era. The 1967 model year was the last of Chevrolet's first-generation Chevelle before the dramatic redesign that arrived in 1968. Its clean body lines, balanced proportions, and aggressive stance have made it a favorite among collectors, restorers, and hot rodders alike. And because original super sport models have become increasingly expensive, well-built SS tribute cars like this one have become a popular alternative for enthusiasts who want the look and performance without the collector car price tag. Located in Lamars, Iowa, this 1967 Chevrolet Malibu is offered at $48,000. It shows 46,000 miles, comes with a clean title, and according to the seller, has no significant mechanical issues. More importantly, it's described as a very clean car that runs and drives exceptionally well. Under the hood sits a legendary 454 cubic inch Chevrolet Big Block V8. Whether cruising through town or accelerating onto the highway, the 454 is known for delivering massive torque and the unmistakable sound that has defined American muscle for generations. In my opinion, it's one of Chevrolet's most iconic performance engines and an excellent match for a Chevelle. Backing the Big Block is a 4-speed Muncie manual transmission, widely regarded as one of the strongest and most desirable gearboxes of the muscle car era. Paired with a durable 12-bolt rear axle, the drivetrain offers the kind of mechanical connection that many modern performance cars simply can't duplicate. This Chevelle has also been upgraded with UMI suspension components. That's an improvement I particularly appreciate because it enhances handling and stability while preserving the classic driving experience. Instead of feeling loose through corners, the car should feel more planted and responsive on today's roads. Inside, the only significant modernization is an aftermarket audio system with a subwoofer, providing better sound quality without dramatically changing the classic appearance of the cabin. It's a practical upgrade that many owners will appreciate during longer drives. Overall, I think this 1967 Chevrolet Malibu Chevelle SS Tribute strikes an excellent balance between classic style and modern drivability. It delivers the unmistakable presence of a late 60s Chevelle, the brute strength of a 454 big block, the involvement of a Muncie 4-speed, and suspension upgrades that make it even more enjoyable to drive. For enthusiasts who want the spirit of an SS without chasing an investment-grade original, this is the kind of classic that's meant to be driven, admired, and enjoyed every chance you get. Number 3. The 1958 Ford Thunderbird Convertible. The 1958 Ford Thunderbird marked a major turning point for Ford. Instead of remaining a two-seat sports car, it evolved into a larger four-seat luxury convertible, creating what would become one of America's most successful personal luxury cars. This example is located in Smithville, Missouri, with an asking price of $29,950. Finished in black with a white interior and matching power convertible top, it shows just 46,000 miles and is described as being in very good condition. Under the hood is Ford's dependable 352 cubic inch V8 paired with a 3-speed automatic transmission. It's equipped with power steering, power windows, dual exhaust, front bucket seats, and its signature power retractable soft top, making it an ideal classic for comfortable weekend cruising. According to the seller, the Thunderbird has always been garage kept, starts easily, and drives well. Recent maintenance includes a rebuilt carburetor, along with a new fuel tank, fuel pump, fuel filter, exhaust manifolds, and engine mounts. Those updates should give the next owner added confidence and help reduce some of the common maintenance concerns found on a 67-year-old classic. In my opinion, this Thunderbird is an appealing combination of classic styling, desirable factory options, and meaningful mechanical updates. At just under $30,000, it looks like a solid driver-quality convertible that's ready to be enjoyed, whether on scenic weekend drives or at your local classic car show. Number 4. The 1968 Ford Galaxie XL Convertible. What if I told you that for just $27,995, you could own a full-size American convertible with one of Ford's legendary big-block V8 engines under the hood? Sounds pretty tempting, doesn't it? The 1968 Ford Galaxie XL comes from an era when bigger truly meant better. Long before downsizing became the norm, Ford built cars that prioritized comfort, effortless cruising, and unmistakable road presence. The XL trim added a sportier personality to the Galaxie lineup, making it one of the most desirable full-size Fords of its time. This particular example looks like it's been well cared for throughout its life. Finished in a bold red exterior with a matching red interior, it has exactly the kind of appearance you'd expect from a late 60s American convertible. With the top down, it's the type of car that instantly draws attention whether you're driving along the coast, heading to a weekend cruise night, or pulling into a local car show. Under the hood sits the real star of the package, a 428 cubic inch V8 paired with an automatic transmission sending power to the rear wheels. Ford's 428 is famous for its smooth yet effortless performance, producing plenty of low-end torque that makes these large cars surprisingly enjoyable to drive. It's less about aggressive acceleration and more about relaxed power that's always there when you need it. According to the seller, the car has also received several important updates. The brakes and suspension have been rebuilt, giving the next owner added confidence on the road. It also comes equipped with power steering, power brakes, and power windows, features that make driving a classic convertible much easier and far more enjoyable than many cars from the same era. The seller also mentions that the paint presents beautifully, while both the convertible top and interior have been replaced more recently. Those improvements help keep the car looking fresh without taking away its classic charm. Another feature that caught my attention is the inclusion of a monte report. For Ford enthusiasts, that's valuable documentation because it helps verify the vehicle's original factory specifications and history. Having paperwork like that can add confidence for both collectors and future buyers. The odometer currently shows just over 79,000 miles, and the seller describes it as a southern car, which is always encouraging since vehicles from warmer climates often have a much better chance of avoiding serious rust problems. So, is it worth the asking price? Personally, I think this Galaxie XL offers a lot for the money. You're getting a desirable big block 428 engine, a beautiful convertible body, documented history, rebuilt mechanical components, and a striking color combination that's hard to ignore. It may never receive the same attention as a Mustang or a Torino Cobra, but that's part of what makes it special. The 1968 Ford Galaxie XL convertible delivers classic American style, effortless V8 performance, and open-top cruising in a package that's becoming increasingly difficult to find. Number 5. The 1968 Ford Fairlane 500. What if I told you that for $35,000, you could own a classic Ford that's remained all original and never restored for nearly 60 years? This 1968 Ford Fairlane 500 isn't trying to be a flashy show car. Instead, it stands out because of its originality. According to the seller, the car has never been restored, making it a rare survivor in a world where many classics have been heavily modified. Finished in green with a tan interior, it has the clean, timeless styling that made the Fairlane such a popular Ford during the late 1960s. Under the hood is a 302 small block V8 backed by an automatic transmission, a combination that's known for reliability, smooth cruising, and easy maintenance. The seller says the odometer shows just 18,000 miles, though, as with any classic, that mileage can't be confirmed. Even so, they describe it as a car they'd confidently drive across the country, which speaks volumes about how well it performs. While the Fairlane has remained largely original, it has received a few practical upgrades. It now features ceramic-coated long-tube headers, a new dual exhaust system with thrush mufflers, a new radiator, water pump, ignition components, and a front disc brake conversion for improved stopping power. What I like most about this listing is the honesty. The seller openly says they don't really want to sell the car, they're simply downsizing. That usually suggests it's been enjoyed and cared for rather than treated as a quick investment. So, is it worth the asking price? I think so. Finding an unrestored 1968 Fairlane with a V8, tasteful upgrades, and a solid reputation as a dependable driver is becoming increasingly difficult. It may not be the most famous Ford of its era, but its originality, simplicity, and classic V8 character make it a car that's easy to appreciate and even easier to enjoy. Number 6. The 1969 Oldsmobile 442. At first glance, this looks like a beautifully restored 1969 Oldsmobile 442. Burgundy paint, black interior, classic muscle car proportions. It checks all the right boxes. But the moment you look under the hood, you realize this isn't a factory restoration. It's a serious performance build created for one purpose, delivering as much horsepower as possible. Listed at $35,000, this 442 takes a very different approach from most collector cars. Instead of retaining its original Oldsmobile power plant, it's been fitted with a Chevrolet Big Block 454 that's been enlarged to 468 cubic inches. For some enthusiasts, that decision may be controversial. Oldsmobile purists often prefer keeping these cars all Oldsmobile. But if your priority is outright performance, it's hard to ignore the potential of a well-built big block Chevy. According to the seller, the engine is packed with high-performance components. It features ported oval port cylinder heads, a solid lifter camshaft with approximately 600 thousandths of lift, full roller rocker arms, a Holley 784 barrel carburetor, and an MSD ignition system complete with a Pro billet distributor and a two-step rev limiter. Those aren't cosmetic upgrades. They're the kinds of components you normally expect to find in a car built for serious acceleration. The drivetrain has received just as much attention. Power is delivered through a professionally built turbo 400 automatic transmission, paired with a high-stall torque converter and a race drive shaft. Out back, the car uses a 1969 Chevelle rear housing equipped with a Yukon Posey differential, 4.56 gears, and heavy-duty Moser 35 spline axles. Personally, I think those gear ratios tell you everything you need to know. This car wasn't built for fuel economy or quiet highway cruising. It was built to launch hard and put every bit of its power to the pavement. The seller also notes that the drivetrain has only around 300 miles on it. Assuming that's accurate, the mechanical components are still very fresh, which could be a major advantage for the next owner. Visually, the burgundy exterior keeps the car looking relatively traditional, while the black interior maintains that classic muscle car atmosphere. It's the kind of build that doesn't immediately reveal just how aggressive it really is until the engine comes to life. So, is it worth the asking price? In my opinion, that depends entirely on what kind of buyer you are. If you're searching for a numbers-matching, factory-correct Oldsmobile 442, this probably isn't the right car. But if you're looking for a professionally assembled street machine with proven performance parts, a fresh drivetrain, and enough power to embarrass many modern performance cars, then $35,000 begins to sound far more reasonable. This isn't a museum piece. It's a muscle car built to be driven hard, heard from blocks away, and enjoyed exactly the way high-performance American machines were always meant to be. Number 7. The 1966 Ford Fairlane convertible. The 1960s were a golden era for American convertibles, and few cars captured that spirit better than the 1966 Ford Fairlane. It combined sporty styling, comfortable cruising, and V8 performance into a package that could be enjoyed with the top down on a summer afternoon or admired at any classic car show. Today, well-kept Fairlane convertibles have become increasingly desirable because far fewer survived compared to their hardtop counterparts. This particular 1966 Ford Fairlane convertible is located in Addison, Illinois, with an asking price of $39,990. The seller describes it as being in excellent condition, showing only 300 miles, with a clean title and no significant mechanical or structural issues. It's also being offered through a dealership, giving potential buyers the opportunity to arrange a viewing or test drive. Finished in a bold red exterior over a matching red interior, this Fairlane embraces the vibrant styling that defined mid-60s American automobiles. In my opinion, the color combination perfectly complements the car's long body lines and open-top design, giving it the kind of presence that immediately draws attention whether parked or cruising down the road. Power is delivered through an automatic transmission, making the driving experience smooth and relaxed. While the seller doesn't specify the engine, the overall presentation suggests a classic built for enjoyable weekend drives rather than uncompromising performance. Sometimes that's exactly what makes a vintage convertible so appealing. It's about the experience as much as the horsepower. Another detail worth noting is the exceptionally low mileage shown. With only around 300 miles indicated, it's likely the car has seen very limited use since its restoration or rebuild. For collectors and enthusiasts alike, that's an encouraging sign that much of the work remains fresh. The Fairlane itself occupies an important place in Ford's history. Positioned between the compact Falcon and the larger Galaxie, it offered buyers a perfect balance of size, comfort, and performance. It also served as the foundation for some of Ford's most successful muscle cars and racing programs during the 1960s, giving the model lasting historical significance. In my opinion, this 1966 Ford Fairlane convertible represents everything enthusiasts love about classic American cruising. It offers timeless styling, an eye-catching color combination, a clean presentation, and the simple pleasure of open-air driving. Whether it's heading to a weekend cruise night, a local car show, or simply enjoying a scenic drive with the top down, this Fairlane looks like the kind of classic that was built to be driven, admired, and enjoyed for years to come. Number 8. The 1969 Lincoln Continental Sedan. Few American luxury cars make an impression quite like the 1969 Lincoln Continental. With its massive size, elegant styling, and smooth ride, it represents an era when comfort and presence mattered just as much as performance. This particular Continental is located in Moorhead, Minnesota, with an asking price of $16,500. Finished in Lincoln's light gold, an elegant off-white shade with a gold interior, it shows just over 62,000 miles and comes with a clean title. According to the seller, this is a true driver-quality classic. It runs well, drives straight, stops confidently, and has recently received new tires and a new Holley carburetor. Even better, many of its original luxury features still work, including the factory clock and all 4 power windows from their individual switches. The seller is also upfront about the car's flaws. There are small rust bubbles beginning around the wheel wells, the air conditioning simply needs a recharge, and the driver's master window switch doesn't operate the passenger windows. There's also a small old hole above the passenger visor, but no odor or signs of recent damage. In my opinion, honesty is what makes this Lincoln stand out. Rather than claiming perfection, the seller clearly explains both the strengths and weaknesses of the car. At $16,500, this low-mileage Continental appears to be an affordable full-size American luxury classic that's ready to be driven and enjoyed while leaving room for a few future improvements. Number 9. The 1966 Dodge Coronet 500. What if I told you that for $38,000, you could own a rust-free classic Mopar that's been upgraded with a 440 big block V8 and restored back to excellent condition? For fans of vintage Dodge muscle, that's a combination that's hard to ignore. The 1966 Dodge Coronet 500 represents a time before the muscle car wars reached their peak. It offered clean styling, a solid B-body platform, and plenty of room under the hood for serious V8 power. Today, these cars have become increasingly desirable because they deliver the classic Mopar experience without being as common as some of their more famous siblings. This particular Coronet has an interesting story. It originally left the factory with a 361 cubic inch V8, but it now features a mildly built 440 engine, giving it significantly more power while still remaining comfortable enough for regular cruising. Paired with an automatic transmission, it offers the kind of effortless torque that big block Mopars are known for. The exterior is finished in a rich purple paint, complemented by an original black interior. It's a bold color choice that suits the car's muscular body lines perfectly. According to the seller, the paint was professionally redone to a very high standard, giving the car an impressive finish that should stand out at any cruise night or local car show. One of the biggest highlights is the car's history. The seller explains that this Coronet spent most of its life on the West Coast, which means it avoided the harsh winters and road salt that caused rust on so many classics in other parts of the country. It also spent years in storage before being brought back to excellent condition, making it an especially appealing survivor. Inside, the original black interior has been preserved and is described as being in excellent condition. Personally, I always like seeing original interiors that have been well maintained. They give a classic car an authentic feel that's difficult to recreate, even during a high-quality restoration. The seller also notes that all of the weather seals and rubber components have been replaced using parts from classic industries, helping improve both reliability and appearance. Even the tires are practically brand new, with fewer than 50 miles of use, meaning the next owner won't have to worry about replacing them anytime soon. So, is it worth the asking price? In my opinion, it certainly has a lot going for it. A rust-free West Coast body, a freshly restored exterior, an upgraded 440 big block, an excellent original interior, and a long list of refreshed components create a package that's ready to be enjoyed rather than rebuilt. It may no longer be powered by its original 361 engine, but for many enthusiasts, the addition of a well-built 440 only makes it more enjoyable to drive. If you're looking for a classic Dodge with timeless styling, dependable big block performance, and the kind of condition that's becoming harder to find every year, this 1966 Coronet 500 deserves a serious look. Number 10. The 1971 Chevrolet Nova. What if I told you that for $37,500, you could own a fully restored classic packing a 427 big block V8 and a 4-speed manual transmission? This 1971 Chevrolet Nova is all about performance. According to the seller, it has undergone a complete restoration and has only about 1,000 miles since the build was finished. Under the hood sits a 427 cubic inch V8, paired with the legendary Muncie 4-speed manual. That's a combination muscle car enthusiasts have loved for decades, delivering plenty of power and an engaging driving experience every time you grab another gear. Power is sent through a 12-bolt rear axle with 3.42 gears, giving the car a balance of strong acceleration and comfortable highway cruising. It's a proven drivetrain that's just as enjoyable on weekend drives as it is at local cruise nights. The seller doesn't go into many cosmetic details, but the focus here is clearly on the mechanical package. A fresh restoration, big block power, and a manual transmission are exactly what many buyers are looking for in a classic Nova. So, is it worth the asking price? In my opinion, yes. A restored 1971 Nova with a 427 V8, Muncie 4-speed, and 12-bolt rear end offers the kind of performance and classic muscle car character that's always in demand. Because sometimes, the best muscle cars don't need a long list of options. Just a lightweight body, a big block V8, and 4 gears to make every drive unforgettable. Number 11. The 1977 Ford Thunderbird. When people think of classic Thunderbirds, they usually picture the sporty two-seaters of the 1950s. But by 1977, the Thunderbird had evolved into something entirely different. A personal luxury coupe built for comfort, style, and effortless highway cruising. And today, that transformation makes cars like this one of the most affordable classics you can still buy. Listed at just $9,000, this 1977 Ford Thunderbird offers a surprising amount of classic American luxury for the money. Finished in white with a blue interior, it perfectly captures the elegant look that defined premium personal cars during the late 1970s. Long body lines, a formal roofline, generous chrome trim, and unmistakable road presence made the Thunderbird one of Ford's flagship coupes of its era. Power comes from Ford's dependable 351 cubic inch V8, paired with an automatic transmission. This wasn't a car designed to dominate drag strips or compete with muscle cars. Instead, it was engineered to deliver smooth acceleration, quiet operation, and relaxed cruising over long distances. Personally, I think that's exactly where the Thunderbird shines. It's a car you drive to enjoy the journey, not just the destination. According to the seller, the odometer shows just over 66,000 miles, and the car runs and drives exceptionally well. It's also equipped with a fresh set of tires, meaning one of the first maintenance expenses has already been taken care of. Even more impressive is the seller's description of the interior, which reportedly shows very little wear despite being nearly 50 years old. That's often a strong sign that a classic has been well cared for throughout its life. The exterior appears equally well preserved, with shiny paint, bright chrome, and perhaps the most encouraging statement in the entire listing, no rust. Anyone who has spent time shopping for vintage American cars knows just how valuable a solid, rust-free body can be. Cosmetic issues can usually be corrected over time, but extensive rust repairs often become the most expensive part of any restoration project. So, is this Thunderbird worth the asking price? In my opinion, absolutely. For $9,000, you're getting a clean, running, rust-free V8 powered classic that's ready to hit the road immediately. While it may never command the same prices as earlier Thunderbirds or high-performance muscle cars, that's exactly what makes it such an attractive value today. Sometimes the best classic cars aren't the rarest or the fastest. They're the ones you can afford, enjoy every weekend, and confidently drive wherever the road takes you. And this 1977 Ford Thunderbird seems to fit that description remarkably well. Number 12. The 1963 Chevrolet Nova II. Some of the most enjoyable classic cars aren't the biggest or the most expensive. They're the ones that combine lightweight construction, simple mechanics, and timeless styling. That's exactly what made the 1963 Chevrolet Nova II such a success. Compact, dependable, and surprisingly capable, the Nova became one of Chevrolet's most beloved platforms, eventually earning legendary status among hot rodders and muscle car enthusiasts alike. This particular 1963 Chevy Nova II is located in Plano, Illinois, with an asking price of $15,000. The seller describes it as being in good condition, emphasizing one detail that every classic car buyer loves to hear: no rust. Considering how many early Novas have fallen victim to corrosion over the decades, that's a significant selling point. Under the hood sits a dependable 283 cubic inch small block Chevrolet V8, one of the most respected engines in General Motors history. Known for its durability, smooth operation, and impressive aftermarket support, the 283 delivers the kind of classic V8 character that makes driving an early Nova so enjoyable. Paired with a dual exhaust system, it should produce the unmistakable rumble that enthusiasts expect from a vintage small block Chevy. Another major highlight is the car's Arizona heritage. Dry climate classics are often highly desirable because they typically avoid the severe rust issues common in cars that spent their lives in snowy or humid regions. In my opinion, starting with a rust-free body is one of the biggest advantages when buying a classic, since bodywork is often the most expensive part of any restoration. The seller also states that the Nova runs great, suggesting it's more than just a project sitting in the garage. That's exactly what many enthusiasts are looking for, a classic that can be driven and enjoyed immediately while still offering plenty of opportunities for future upgrades if desired. Historically, the first-generation Nova II earned a reputation for being lightweight and easy to modify. Over the years, it became a favorite platform for everything from street machines to drag racers, thanks to its simple design and ability to accept a wide variety of Chevrolet V8 engines. Even today, these early Novas remain popular because they deliver classic styling in a compact, easy-to-own package. In my opinion, this 1963 Chevrolet Nova II represents excellent value in today's classic car market. It combines a rust-free Arizona body, the proven reliability of the 283 small-block V8, dual exhaust, and a reputation for enjoyable driving, all at a price that's still relatively accessible. For anyone looking to own an authentic piece of early Chevrolet performance history without spending a fortune, this Nova II deserves a serious look. Number 13. The 1966 Chevrolet Impala. The 1966 Chevrolet Impala remains one of the most recognizable full-size American classics ever built. Known for its clean body lines, spacious interior, and smooth ride, it's a car that continues to attract enthusiasts looking for an affordable way into the classic car hobby. This particular 1966 Impala two-door is located in Mountain View, Missouri, with an asking price of $14,000. Finished in black with a red interior, it's powered by Chevrolet's dependable 283 cubic inch V8 paired with a classic Powerglide 2-speed automatic transmission. The seller says the car is a solid driver that's ready to hit the road. It features aftermarket wheels wrapped in good tires, dual exhaust, freshly tinted windows, and an interior that's reported to be in good overall condition. While the paint presents well from a distance, the seller is honest about a few cosmetic flaws, including minor rust around the lower rear quarter panels and a small amount in the trunk. What stands out most is the seller's confidence in its drivability, describing it as a car you can simply get in and drive wherever you want. That kind of statement is always encouraging when shopping for a classic that's nearly 60 years old. In my opinion, this Impala offers a good balance between value and usability. It's not advertised as a perfect show car, but rather as an honest, solid driver with a dependable V8 and a few tasteful upgrades. At just $14,000, it could be an excellent entry-level American classic for someone who wants to enjoy driving now while improving the car over time. Number 14. The 1964 Ford Falcon. What if I told you that for $30,000, you could own a lightweight classic Ford that's packing a supercharged V8 under the hood? Now that's a very different kind of Falcon. When most people think of the 1964 Ford Falcon, they picture a simple economy car that helped pave the way for the original Mustang. But every now and then, one comes along that's been transformed into something far more exciting, and this is one of those cars. Instead of the modest engine it would have left the factory with, this Falcon is now powered by an all-Ford 306 cubic inch V8 topped with a B&M supercharger. That means instant throttle response, plenty of horsepower, and the unmistakable whine that only a supercharged engine can produce. It's paired with AC4 automatic transmission featuring a B&M floor shifter and a manual valve body, giving the driver much more control over every gear change. Power is sent to a sturdy 9-inch Ford rear end equipped with 3.50 gears, a combination that's long been considered one of the strongest and most dependable rear axle setups for classic Fords. Whether you're cruising through town or putting the engine's power to the pavement, this drivetrain is built to handle it. The upgrades don't stop there. This Falcon also rides on Viking coilover shocks, improving both handling and ride quality compared to the original suspension. It's fitted with Colorado custom wheels, giving the car a modern custom look while still complementing its classic body lines. Finished in silver with a gray interior, the car has a clean, understated appearance. According to the seller, the paint scores about an 8 out of 10, making it a strong driver quality finish that still presents very well. Inside, the dashboard has been upgraded with odometer gauges, allowing the driver to keep a close eye on the engine's vital signs. And if you enjoy good audio, the seller certainly seems confident about one thing: they describe it as having a stereo system from hell. Whether that's an exaggeration or not, it definitely suggests the sound system received just as much attention as the rest of the build. So, is it worth the asking price? Personally, I think this Falcon offers something you don't see very often. It's not trying to be a factory original restoration. Instead, it's been built as a performance-oriented street machine using proven Ford components from front to back. For someone who wants a classic that delivers modern performance while keeping its vintage personality, this Falcon checks a lot of boxes. It's compact, powerful, well-equipped, and full of character. And that's exactly what makes builds like this so much fun. They take an already iconic classic and turn it into something truly unforgettable. Number 15. The 1972 Chevrolet Monte Carlo. What if I told you that for just $21,500, you could own a numbers-matching classic that's already been upgraded where it counts? This 1972 Chevrolet Monte Carlo blends original character with practical improvements, making it a great choice for someone who wants a classic that's meant to be driven, not just admired. Under the hood is the numbers-matching 350 small block V8, professionally rebuilt with a mild cam for a little extra performance while keeping excellent street manners. It's backed by a professionally rebuilt 700 R4 overdrive automatic transmission, giving the car lower highway RPM and a much more comfortable cruising experience than the original transmission. Out back, it features a 3.55 Posey rear end, providing better traction and a sportier feel. The upgrades continue with new front disc brakes, drop spindles, fresh tires, bucket seats, a center console, Bluetooth audio, and a tachometer conversion. Even better, the seller says the air conditioning still works, and describes it as a car they'd confidently drive anywhere. That's always a reassuring sign when shopping for a classic. So, is it worth the asking price? In my opinion, absolutely. You're getting a numbers-matching Monte Carlo with modern drivability upgrades, working AC, and a drivetrain that's already been professionally rebuilt. It may not be a concours restoration, but it's exactly the kind of classic you can turn the key, hit the highway, and enjoy without hesitation.